presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Their name is Magic, the Yankees, baseball's doodle dandies. The first of weekend 3 against the Padres. On this Friday night, a confident Will Meyers leads the Padres into July. He's the major's top power numbers for the month of June. And it indeed is Padres Hall of Fame night, and Dave Winfield, an ex-Padre, ex-Yankee, here for all the festivities honoring the great Ted Williams. And good evening, everyone. With Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, we're pleased you're with us. A big 3-game weekend series with the New York Yankees, a sellout crowd expected for all 3 games. We have an enthusiastic audience here tonight. And the big news is behind the field, a trade of Fernando Rodney.
Yes, before the trade deadline, right-hander Fernando Rodney, who was perfect, 17-17. Hey, we're going to miss him here in San Diego. Fun-loving guy, great clubhouse guy, but did all his talking on the mound. He was perfect in save ops. In exchange, Chris Paddock, welcome to San Diego. This guy's got a power arm, according to A.J. Preller, the general manager in Greensboro. How about these numbers? Over 15 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's a power arm. He projects him. Sure, he's only an A-ball,
right,
but he projects him as like maybe a number 2 or number 3 starter. Time is going to tell.
All right, Chris Paddock will go to Fort Wayne to start his Padre career in the minor leagues. Coming up, Will Meyers. Can he transfer all that success of June into the month of July? The opening pitch with the Yankees coming up. And we're set to go. The Padres Yankees, first of 3 this weekend. Colin Ray on the mound. Jacoby Ellsbury looks at the first pitch of the game. It's a called strike. Ellsbury, former Boston Red Sox outfielder. There's his numbers this year with the Yankees. Good base runner. Played his college ball at Oregon State. Hitting .271. Inside, 1-1. Ellsbury, Gardner, and Teixeira for manager Joe Girardi here in the top of the first inning. The Yankees come to town at 500. They're 39-39, 8 games behind Baltimore in the American League East. Chop to the left side. That one hitting the helmet of catcher Norris. A good scoop over at first base by, well, no, hold on. They're going to call that catcher's interference. That was the glove that went flying, and Norris plays very tight in behind the hitter. That's why he's been hit by the backlash of the swing. And in this case, the bat knocked the glove right off his hand. There it is.
Just glad that Derek Norris didn't get the bat flush on those fingers. That's a good way to break a digit.
Catcher's interference to start the series.
So that goes as an E2.
And sets the table for this predominantly left-handed hitting lineup of the Yankees. They've had greater success against right-handed pitching, understandably, with so many left-handed batters. Brett Gardner hitting .255. Ellsbury and Gardner are the big base stealers, and they're stacked 1-2 atop the lineup.
Yeah, the rankings for this Yankee team, not your traditional Yankee team that you've seen in the past. I mean, on base percentage, .311, that's 12th in the American League, so they're not getting on base. Don't have a lot of power.
And their batting average as a team is certainly much lower than you might expect. He didn't go. Third base umpire is the crew chief, Mark Carlson. Chase Headley there, hidden there behind one of his teammates. Mike DeMuro calling the balls and strikes with Hobert, Walcott, and Carlson on the bases. 2 balls, no strikes. Gardner. Ellsbury has 14 steals to lead the team.
You know, also, this is a team, Dick, that really doesn't steal a lot of bases. It's not their MO for Joe Girardi. 7th in the American League as Derek Norris peeks in to get the sign.
Ellsbury and Gardner are the big steal threats. Ray keeping an eye on the runner.
You know how you'd win a good bet? Hey, who has more runs scored this year, Padres or Yankees? Padres. Who's hit more home runs this year, Padres or Yankees? Yeah. Padres.
No, it is a turnabout, isn't it?
Yeah.
Roll to first. Meyers will put up the blockade, and there's the first down. Well, let's check the Yankees lineup. It's brought to you by Hyundai. We've seen Ellsbury and Gardner. Mark Teixeira hits third. Brian McCann, the former Atlanta Braves catcher, hits cleanup. Starlin Castro over from the Cubs is at second base, batting fifth. Our old friend Chase Headley will hit sixth and start at third base with Didi Gregorius from Arizona, batting seventh. Aaron Hicks, former Minnesota Twin, hits eighth. And then Eovaldi, the pitcher. Teixeira struggling here early. He's had some injury problems and is under that 200 batting average mark. That's a shock to every Yankee fan.
Yeah, the one thing I look at Mark Teixeira is that the breaking ball in the zone. You know, he's struggling right now, can't catch up to a good fastball. Don't hang him a breaking ball in the zone. And the numbers prove that.
Shift on. And a soft fly ball right center, and having to play it on a hop is Kemp. Turning and holding is Ellsbury. He couldn't go full bore off second base, had to wait to make sure the ball wasn't caught, so he has to stop at third. Soft single to right center, and it's first and third for the Yankees.
Well, they missed with a fastball. That fastball jams Teixeira. It's right down the middle. Derek Norris wanted it down and away.
Right up on the handle.
Yeah, and really breaking down on that back leg too. Uppercut swing from Mark Teixeira.
So Brian McCann, the cleanup hitter, dozen home runs. He's had quite a career. 237 career homers now for McCann, who grew up in the Atlanta suburbs. Inside, ball one. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium really fits well for Brian McCann. That jet stream out in right center field, the ball has a tendency to fly. And, you know, McCann getting up there longer in the tooth, so it works to his advantage.
Infield back. Will sacrifice a potential first run to turn a double play. McCann, a good candidate to turn two. A ball and a strike. Ray making his 15th start of the season. The Padres are 8-6 in the First 14 for Starlin Castro, the former Cub. Good rip. 1-2.
Early on, Colin Ray's really trying to establish that fastball in to the left-handed hitters. I like that. Opens up so many doors. You make them aware of that, then you can peck away down and away. You can change them up, down and away. Flip a curveball up there.
Ellsbury at third, Teixeira at first. Just got a late swing and able to foul that pitch off. Defensive swing. Good breaking ball. Yeah, it's a bit of a shock. There are only 2 men in this starting lineup for the Yankees that have a batting average over 255. He wouldn't go up the ladder. 2-2.
And the scouting report for Colin Ray looks something like this. We know he's got the fastball, the curveball, but he'll also cut it, throw the changeup as well. He's got to use both sides of the plate, and he's already established that fastball into the lefties.
Breaking ball, caught him looking right down the middle. Big strikeout. That takes the opportunity away from the Yankees to score a run on and out.
You know what? A right-handed pitcher, and it's the old knee buckler to the left-handed hitter, Brian McCann. That is a good old-fashioned yacker. Perfectly placed pitch for the strikeout. Good curveball.
So the infield can move even farther back as Starlin Castro steps up. Came over last December from the Cubs. We've got Brendan Ryan, the infielder, and Adam Warren, a pitcher from the Yankees. Well, he was every year with the Cubs up there in hits, at bats. A very productive infielder, and he's still a young guy, only 26. Hit 281 in his Cub career.
A lot of swings and misses in the swing of Starlin Castro, but he'll run into one once in a while. 10 home runs this year.
Ooh, way outside. 2-0. Chase Headley is on deck. Back in San Diego for the first time since he was traded away. The Padres were on the road at the time he was traded, so he didn't even come back to this great city. His wife did all the packing and moving on. At the knees, 2-1. 93 in the fastball from Ray. The Cascade Kid trying to shackle the Yankees tonight, get the Padres off on the right foot for the series. The final home series before the All-Star game. Padres go on the road, Arizona and the Dodgers, and then next Sunday the All-Star break. A look at the Padres defense brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Kemp in right, Jankowski in center field with Upton over and left. On the infield, Solarte, Ramirez on the left side. Schimpf and Meyers at second and first, and Norris behind the plate. Two-two pitch crowds him. Full count.
You know what? That was a ball, but he had him set up perfectly for a fastball in. I think Castro might have had that curveball set in his mind. He would have froze him with a strike.
Yeah, we were playing the game the other night. A number on a certain uniform makes you think of a player of yesteryear, Bill Scouring, huh?
Oh, 14 for you?
Yeah.
You know what it is for me? Lou Piniella.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I remember Moose. And then later on, Lou Piniella wore 14.
Runner goes at 3-2, and the ball is fouled away.
And Mark Teixeira on first base, 25. Tommy John when he was a Yankee.
That's exactly right. Well, the Yankees, one of the few major league teams that do not include the name of the player on the back of the uniform. They were one of the first to put numbers on the baseball uniform back in the late 1920s. Didn't want to put numbers on there because you have to sell the scorecards.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, the 3-2. And the bases are loaded. So long, tough inning for Colin Ray. 21 pitches, No runs yet, and here's Chase Headley returns with the bases loaded, and it's time for our top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco. Chase, 11 years ago, the Padres' second-round pick out of the University of Tennessee, traded to the Yankees for the Padres' current third baseman, Yangervis Solarte. He had that one sensational season before being traded, hit 32 home runs back in 2012. Switch hitter, another left-handed bat in the lineup. Bases full. No place to put Headley. So an error by the catcher on the interference, a ground out, a soft single to right center to Sheras. McCann strikes out. Castro walks to load him up.
Good two-seam fastball down and away.
That had some nice sink to it, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
There are Headley's numbers this year. He and Solarte sharing a lot of the offensive numbers, very similar. And 2-1.
In and out and in. Trying to work both sides of the plate. And there are the principles, as Dick was just talking about, in that trade. Headley, Solarte.
Padres gained 4 years. Solarte younger by 4. And rolled foul out to Meyers. Academic All-America was Headley at the University of Tennessee, just as his manager Joe Girardi was a 3-time Academic All-America at Northwestern, and he's in the Academic All-America Hall of Fame. The Yankees have them loaded up, and the action pitch, well, this is a 2-2 delivery. Could have gone either way. It went to the Yankees Headley, and now the base is loaded, and you got to throw a strike. 3-2 the count.
Two-seamer tried to bring it back, and it straightens up Chase a little bit. Nice frame. The best he can do, Derek Norris. Looked like it just caught that, but that's one of those rare pitches that you really don't get the call on.
All 3 runners take off. And a ground ball to second. Shim to first, and the inning comes to an end. Headley grounds out, leaves the bases loaded. Here come the Padres. Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by GMC. By Petco, your complete pet store. By Kona Brewing Company, enjoy a long board locker or big wave golden ale tonight. And by Pinnacle on the Park, make your new home right here. Visit pinnacleonthepark.com for details. Well, the Padres come up bottom of the first, escape a bases loaded situation in the Yankee first inning. Travis Jankowski, Will Meyers, and Matt Kemp against Nate Eovaldi. Jankowski taking over in that leadoff spot with John Jay healing from that fractured wrist. 0-2. Eovaldi has really had a rough time of it the last 5 games. The home run ball has haunted him. He's given up 10 home runs the last 5 games.
Yeah, the slider is flat. The split finger is not splitting. I'll tell you what, that can get between a pitcher's ears when you haven't won a ball game since May 29th.
We were talking about the numbers, number 30, but not on a New York Yankee uniform. Will always be Nolan Ryan for me, and it fits Eovaldi. He went to the same high school as Nolan Ryan.
Nice.
Jankowski rolls one to second, and Castro has the first down. Over to Teixeira as we check the Padres lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Jankowski and Meyers, then Kemp with Solarte hitting cleanup. Melvin Upton 5th, followed by Derek Norris, Alexei Ramirez, Ryan Schimpf in the 8th spot, and Colin Ray. Well, Will Meyers, he just tore up the National League and the Major League numbers in the month of June. Will he continue here in July? He certainly seems ticketed for the All-Star game as a Padre representative. He earned that with a fantastic last month. He led the major leagues in RBIs. He led the major leagues in extra base hits. He led the National League most total bases. Led the National League in home runs. Led the National League most run scorers. Led the National League in slugging percentage. You got enough? You get the idea?
Player of the month.
Pretty good. I voted for him today. I knew you would vote. So that's
absolutely good call. He's got to be.
First career home run was against CC Sabathia, who was originally ticketed to pitch the Sunday game. But Girardi has changed to Chad Green for the Sunday matchup with Andrew Kashner, and Kashner returns to the club and will be on the mound Sunday.
Eovaldi's touching 99 and 100 this at bat against Meyers.
Slapped into the upper deck. Well, here's confirmation of Meyers' blistering month of June. National League ranks. And many of those are #1 in the majors for June.
You know, I went by Will's locker before the game, and he had a calendar up there. It said June 31st. And I think I saw June 32nd.
I hope so.
And June 33rd.
Yeah, they're going to have fireworks on June,
38th.
No, let's see. This is
the 30th.
This is June 31st. Then Sunday, it's Saturday, 32nd, 33rd. June 33rd will be the fireworks show over in Arizona. And a walk, and that's something else he's doing. A 98-mile-an-hour miss. He's not chasing bad pitches, and walked 18 times in June.
Nathan Eovaldi, he's got a rocket for an arm. It's mostly four-seamer, slider, and split. And he allows a lot of base runners. 86 2/3 going into this game. He's allowed 119 base runners. That's a lot out of the stretch.
Matt Kemp, second to Meyers in home runs and RBIs. .98 on the strike. Solarte would be next. Fly ball to left, not hit long enough, and Gardner will tuck it away at the edge of the track. 2-0. And let's check our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
All right, the Yanks are in town. Handle the heat. Eovaldi, 97. Get that front foot down. Keep the hands back. Look for the heater and adjust. No extra outs against these Yanks. You know, they're a 500 ball club. It's not really the traditional Yankee team. The juggernaut, the Bronx Bombers, Murderers Row. So take advantage of that and don't give them any extra outs.
And the Padres did in the first inning, but they escaped after the catcher's interference. Ooh, that was close. Quick move by Eovaldi. He's only 26, as we mentioned, went to Alvin, Texas High School, same as the great Nolan Ryan. Was selected by the Dodgers.
Oh, very quick move from Eovaldi, and well, the way he was moving his feet there, very close to a balk.
You bet it was.
That front foot looked like that front foot
Yeah, I think that's exactly why the Padres are getting on the phone to maybe check on that move. Go back to the video crew and say, look that one over and let us know what you think. Up the middle, can that get through? Yes, it can. Meyers will pull up at second on the single by Solarte. That was a seeing eye single.
Well, they were shifting him to pull on the right side. Gregorius at shortstop over a little bit, but Castro had a long way to go. This one way out in front of it, off the end of the bat, and just hit hard enough. Smart move by Will Meyers also, because Ellsbury was charging. He could probably score on a base hit with the crack of the bat and 2 outs.
And the percentage of risking an out at third with 2 away, it's just not the right play. So he pulled up, and so first and second for left fielder Melvin Upton. Chance to add to that 37 runs batted in. To the right side, that's going to go through. Here comes Meyers. He scores, and the Padres lead 1-0. Into third is Solarte with a head first slide. Upton delivers. He bounces one through that right side.
Against 97, 99, 100, what do? You shorten up the swing. Hey, you just get the good part of the bat on the baseball. Take your chances. Look at that ball bounces, what, maybe a foot out in front of home plate, but it finds the hole on the right side, and the Padres are on the board.
Meyers scores, Solarte to third, and with 2 outs, Derek Norris the batter. Yeah, a couple of singles that found the big hole. And here's Norris. One out walk to Meyers. Back-to-back singles that found the opening in that infield of the Yankees by Solarte and Upton, and the Padres are in front 1-0. Off speed, splitter thrown high, and sometimes that's a dangerous spot to leave a splitter.
Absolutely, Dick. Good call. Good pick up there, because you leave that around belt high. You speed up a hitter's bat rather than 98, it's 86 with no movement. That could spell trouble.
Inside edge, 1-1. Alexei Ramirez in the on-deck circle.
Well, since 2011, Nathan Eovaldi has pretty much shut down the running game. 12 career stolen bases allowed on 22 attempts, so the fewest stolen bases allowed in the majors since he entered the league in 2011. So we saw that quick move, and as a right-hander, he shuts down that running game with the best of them.
Plus that 98-mile-an-hour fastball gets into that catcher a little quicker. That ball drilled into the left field corner. Fair ball. 1 run scores, and Upton's really racing around third. He's going to try to score. Here comes the relay. They can't make the relay. It's 3-0. Solarte from third, Upton all the way from first base on a double into the left field corner off the bat of Derek Norris, and the Padres jump out 3-0.
There are a handful of very exciting plays in baseball. Yeah, it's exciting to see Derek Norris connect on that fastball and turn it around on the pull side. Now everybody's up and running. But what's exciting for me, this guy, first to second. Bring it on home, Melvin. Wind it up. Scoring from first. Now that's kind of special right there.
Gardner digging it out of the corner, trying to make a perfect relay to Gregorius, but Gregorius bobbled it as he made the catch and attempted to throw, and Upton able to make it home without the throw to the plate. So 3 runs here in the Padre first. Norris knocking in number 27 and 28. Pitching coach Larry Rothschild out to have a word with Eovaldi. Alexei Ramirez, the batter. Ground ball to third. Headley there to throw out Ramirez. Inning comes to an end, but a productive start for the Padres. They take a 3-0 lead.
Everyone, Padres lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the second. Well, earlier today, the Padres celebrated the grand opening of their very own Hall of Fame. It's accessible through the left field gates in the Gaslamp District, and here you can find everything from game-used memorabilia to jerseys and trophies, and that is just the beginning, plus the use of technology. You can check out the background and the history of all of your favorite players. Ted Williams being inducted as the 13th member of the Hall of Fame, and just an incredible way to start a night at the ball game.
Yeah, they've done a first-class job, as always. It's a terrific addition to Petco Park, the Padres official Hall of Fame, and who better than Ted Williams to join the previous inductees: Randy Jones, Nate Colbert, Ray Kroc, Dave Winfield, Jerry Coleman, Buzzy Bavasi, Tony Gwynn, Dick Williams, Trevor Hoffman, Benito Santiago, Gary Templeton, and now Ted Williams. Yankees up in the top of the second inning. Didi Gregorius, Aaron Hicks, and the pitcher Eovaldi to bat. Of course, Ken Caminiti will be the other inductee. That ceremony on Sunday. Gregorius having himself a good season with the bat. He was always considered an excellent fielder, but limited as a hitter, but hitting .290 this year with 8 home runs. Came over from Arizona in the trade for Robbie Ray, the left-handed pitcher and an infielder.
So you want to follow Derek Jeter at shortstop, huh?
Yeah.
There's a big shoes to fill for Didi Gregorius.
So a 3-team swap between the Yankees, Arizona, and the Tigers. Ground ball toward the hole and through. Sounded like he might have broken his bat on it. Able to pull it through that opening on the right side, and the leadoff man aboard.
Hey, Colin Ray will take those all day long. You know, the ground balls are going to find the holes. This is a two-seamer. It's got decent movement. Didi tops it, rolls it over, just happens to find the hole. How about another one of those and try a chance at a possible double play?
Right fielder Aaron Hicks, yet another left-handed batter. They really structured this lineup to fit that short porch in right field in the new Yankee Stadium. And it's reflected in the fact that they've had good success against right-handed pitching with all those left-handed hitters, but against the lefties, they're only 10 and 15 on the year. Girardi now in his 9th year as the skipper of the Yanks. Off speed drops in there.
It's unbelievable how Joe Girardi is the 32nd manager only in Yankees history. 32nd of the long-standing tradition of this ball club. 17th manager to play for the club as well.
He had quite a playing career, 15 years behind the plate. Cubs and Rockies, Yankees, St. Louis. Left field. Upton right there has to back up now and make the catch. And it'll bring up the pitcher Eovaldi. Padres with an early 3-0 lead here in the top of the second. Let's check tonight's cold hard facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Major League leaders all time. Interleague, the Yankees have edged the Red Sox and Angels with the best mark, playing the other league. Against the Padres, the Yankees are 8-4, but the last time around they played in 2013. Scoring the bunt. You don't have to sacrifice now as the ball gets away. Pass ball charged to Norris.
Four-seamer away.
Well, that ball hit the dirt. Normally that's an automatic wild pitch. But let's see if they change.
Let's check out the dirt cam. Looks like a catchable ball for Derek. He was set up inside. Colin Ray yanked it a little bit. Down and away.
Of course, the advantage the Padres have in this series, no designated hitter, so we don't see Carlos Beltran, and the pitchers have to hit. And Eovaldi, like most of those in the American League, not much of a hitter. In fact, Yankee pitchers in interleague play are 1 for the last 44. 2-1. He went 2-2. Well, stay with us. The game break coming up between the Indians and the Toronto Blue Jays was not your ordinary game, folks. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Ray. 2 away, top of the order. Jacoby Ellsbury comes up. Well, you know, Cleveland went into that game. They had tied their longest winning streak since 1951, 13 straight wins. And they go to Toronto on Canada Day. And did the fans up there get more than their money's worth? They didn't have a doubleheader, but they played more than 18 innings. There's a shot past Schimpf. Here comes the runner on third. Gregorius, the throw to the plate by Kemp, and he's safe. Boy, that was a good throw by Kemp. Made it tight, but with 2 outs, Gregorius running all the way. And the Yankees are on the board, 3-1. Ellsbury delivers.
Perfectly executed all the way around. And with 2 outs, everybody's off at the crack of the bat. The curveball speeds up the bat of Ellsbury. Okay, now Matt Kemp fields it correctly, comes up firing. Derek Norris out in front of home plate, creating the lane for the runner. Just a little bit up the first base side as he has to go to his right and then wheel around. And by that time, Gregorius gets the hand in safely just in time.
That was a dynamite throw, though. From
This
Kemp.
sure was.
And Meyers positioned where the runner, Ellsbury, couldn't go on to second on the throw because he had to make sure that Meyers didn't cut it off. Gardner's bunt try trickles foul. Gardner grounded out to first, his initial at bat. A-Rod hasn't seen a lot of duty this year. Played in 47 of the games and hitting .219 with 8 homers. We'll see him in the series. Big crowds for all 3 games of this weekend series. Inside at 91.
Hey, not bad. Not a bad pitch at all. Let's see how close it actually was. Yeah, not that close, but still, it's kind of like a how you doing a little bit, right? A little four-seamer up and in. As I mentioned earlier in the first inning, Colin Ray not afraid to bury that fastball in to the lefties. Oh, by the way, before the game, I met Colin's mom. She came up to the booth. Colin's sister and his wife. They wanted to see where the announcers were.
Okay.
Right? They watch us every time, every night.
But all of they're here. That reduces Cascade to about half the population.
You know what, though? They're partying at Dagwood's little tavern in Cascade. Dagwood's. And at the bowling alley, Cascade Bowl.
There you go. Runner goes. Throw by Norris. Not in time. Ellsbury has his 15th steal.
As we mentioned earlier, the Yankees are in the middle of the pack in the American League when it comes to stolen bases. They're 7th in the American League. Just got underneath that one. Derek Norris did on the throw to second base.
Well, Ellsbury skidding by the bag, and Ramirez alertly trying to get the tag on him. 2-1.
Pretty good pitch.
Sure was, but borderline at the knees. 3-1. With Mark Teixeira on tap. .44 pitches to get 5 outs for Colin Ray. That's going to sail down into Souvenir Corner.
There's some electricity in the air tonight, Professor.
Yeah, there is. Well,
a little buzz in the air.
Yeah.
Obviously, some transplanted New Yorkers here to renew their relationship with the Yankees. Strike 3 call on the inside corner, and Gardner caught looking. Yankees get a run on a couple of singles. Gregorius scoring on the base hit by Ellsbury, and it's 3-1. Padres coming up in the second. That here in the bottom of the second, it'll be Ryan Schimpf, then the pitcher Ray and Jankowski against Nate Eovaldi. Take strike one at 97. His 30th at bat since being called up from El Paso. 3 hits so far. Needs a couple of bingles to boost that batting average, doesn't it?
You bet. Got to be looking for the fastball against Eovaldi.
And gets it off speed. It's 1-2. Well, that's an easy 97, isn't it?
Yeah. He's touched 100 already tonight. Sets up at the split finger fastball in his glove, and then he will adjust accordingly to what Brian McCann puts down.
That ball hit well to right center field. It's up the alley, and that ball is in the home run deck. Touch them all. That ball shooting over that right center field fence, and Schimpf has his first major league home run. Oh my! It's 4-1.
Looked like an off-speed pitch, a split-fingered fastball, and we mentioned it earlier. Speeds up the bat, gets it on the sweet spot. Time to wake up the Schimpf. Going to the beach. Oh yeah. Just made it over, but you know what though? It doesn't matter. Wall scraper, 400 feet. That's a goner.
So he's in that home run column in the major leagues, Ryan Schimpf. 102 miles an hour at contact point.
And he likes gum.
Well, he had 15 homers at El Paso, and that's one of the reasons the Padres wanted him to come up. He showed amazing power in the Pacific Coast League. That's what he was doing down there, a line drive home run, clearing that short barrier in right center.
Got to get that baseball.
I think you could barter that baseball to Schimpf. You could barter for some
guy says,
merchandise.
We'll give you a free haircut for that baseball.
You need to get the clubhouse kid out there and give him a whole dozen here. How about a dozen for just that one?
We'll give you a case of brand new Rawlings baseballs for that one home run.
Ooh, that'd be good. Then you can share that with everybody. Scuff it up and tell them that's the one you caught it on the fly. Colin Ray works the count full. Ray's had 4 hits this year, 27 at bats. Not an automatic out, to be certain. Well, the home run ball plaguing Eovaldi, as we told you. Pops that up off first or behind the plate on the first base side, now to play. Well, tonight's game is being broadcast on AFM, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the United States Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. And we welcome all our men and women. We can give you a little taste of the home base as the Yankees and Padres playing this first of 3. Thank you for your service. Ground ball pulled to the shortstop. Gregorius across for the first out here in the second. Well, here's our Fox Sports game break. 1-1 tie in the 19th inning in Toronto, and Darwin Barney, the infielder, pitching, and Carlos Santana goes deep, and the Indians in 19 innings win 2-1 and have now racked up 14 consecutive victories.
Carlos Santana is saying, I'm winning, and oye como va with the home run. That was one exciting ball game.
All on Canada's celebration, their version of our 4th of July, Canada Day. Jankowski bounced out to second his first time. Lays down the bunt. Eovaldi pounces quickly and throws him out. Didn't get it quite far enough toward the third base line.
Eovaldi's an athlete. We know he's got the good arm, just getting to it and planting those feet and firing a seed down to first base.
So 2 out. Will Meyers walked and scored the first time.
Oh, we got a negotiation going on down there.
In all good spirit, as a Padre fan, you got to understand how important that ball is to Shemp. It's nice for you as a fan to get a souvenir, but for this man, that's something he wants to put on his mantle. Big swing and a miss by Meyers. Meyers, of course, saying the Yankees more than any Padre because of his time over in the American League, Kansas City. 1-2.
It's nice to get an early lead, isn't it, Professor?
It is indeed. And then to add on here after the Yankees got one, top half of the second.
Good call.
Now 4-1 and a swing and a miss. Meyers goes down, and that's Eovaldi's first strikeout. But the Padres negate the run scored by the Yankees in the top of the second as Ryan Shemp has his first major league home run. A blast to right center. It's 4-1. Now for the San Diego fans of the game, and there they are, Yankees and Padres, 4-1. Padres, top of the third. Teixeira to lead it off. McCann and Castro to follow. Teixeira singled to right field his first time, and some more San Diego fans of the game.
Dick, there's that book you were talking about, the giveaway tonight, right? The Padre book, history.
Terrific cocktail book, the history of the Padres. Some great photographs, some classic black and white and color photos of the great games and great Padres.
I like that hoodie the guy's wearing. I love the old school. I'm going to get me one of them. Padres gift shop, you bet.
I was there today, the gift shop, and there was a lot of business going on there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Merchandise flying off the rack. Should have invested in that.
I know.
Missed on another. Thank God we skipped that Google one, huh? Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Yeah, when somebody came to me with an idea about a piece of fruit, some called what, apple?
Come on.
I said, that'll never work.
Listen, I grew up on an apple farm. I don't need no apple. Macintosh. We grew Macintosh. That's what you make applesauce out of. That nicked him, and Teixeira goes to first. They want to put that leadoff man on.
when you establish the fastball in, yeah, you're going to miss once in a while and you're going to hit batters. But you know what? That's a hang with him. That's part of the game. It's not like he's head hunting by any means. He's just trying to go inside.
Got him on the elbow.
Yep. And it's a two-seamer he tried to bring back, and sometimes you're just going to yank it a little bit, and that's going to happen.
That's no love me tender, huh? That's just tender.
Absolutely.
That spot.
Yep.
Maybe Elvis wasn't a baseball fan. All right, leadoff man on, and Brian McCann, the batter. McCann took a third strike his first time. Shift on, 3 on the right side, but all on the infield dirt. Dead pull hitter.
Well, Brian McCann against the shift. 223 average. You can see majority of his hits 11 and 11 to right field and right center field, and that's where they're bunched up. As Dick mentioned, all 3 infielders on the right side on the dirt. No rover in shallow right.
Be tough to turn a double play, a ball hit on the right side, unless it's to Ramirez. He'd have to go to the bag himself. Actually, that's Solarte now over near the bag at second, with Ramirez staying on the left side. So it's an awkward double play chance if a ball is grounded to that right side.
Yeah, now it looks like Alexei is moving over towards the second base area there, right after that pitch.
Now more orthodox position,
Yep.
just nobody covering the third baseline. 2-1. Grew up in a baseball family, did McCann. His dad was a head baseball coach at Marshall University. Thundering Herd.
Nice.
And 3-1. So Ray hit the leadoff man. Now falls behind McCann.
You know, time just flies too quickly, because I remember Brian McCann his rookie year up with the Braves in 2005. 2005. It's 11 seasons ago, Professor.
Those breakfasts, you eat them quicker every day. Another 20 minutes and a day's gone. Ripped foul. First base coach Tony Pena ready to hit the deck. Boy, the food, they just keep coming, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's an eatery out there.
That's a good night at the yard right there.
Pops him up. Shallow center. Ramirez floats out onto the grass and makes the catch for the first down.
Hey, tomorrow, Baseball Night in America returns right here to San Diego. A showdown between the Angels and Red Sox, and then here in San Diego, Yankees are going to take on these Padres at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, and a game you can only see on FS1 and watch it live on Fox Sports Go. So Angels Red Sox at 4 p.m. Pacific on your local Fox station, and Yankees Padres right here from Petco Park, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Don Orsillo will call that game.
Yeah, our partner will be there. We'll be back with Fox Sports San Diego on Sunday, 1 o'clock for our TV time in the closing game of the series. Castro walked his first time.
And also Eric Karros, the pride and joy of Patrick Henry High School, will work with Don Orsillo on that game tomorrow.
Ooh, that one off Ray. They'll get it out there, back to first. And he pulled him off the bag. No, Meyers stayed with contact as he made the stretch. And an awkward double play that goes 1, 4, 6, 3. Is Ray all right? He took the brunt of that line drive. Boom. 1, 4, 6. And did they get him at first base? Joe Girardi and his bench coach on the phone. Too much time. 10 seconds ought to be enough. You know that Aunt Matilda up there in
Hibbing, Minnesota. She,
Right.
you know, sometimes by the time they make the call and she goes and checks the TV, you know, she tapes all the games so she can help them out.
Out.
See, it's easy. Mark Grant can call it. To Petco on this Friday night, big house, the Yankees and Padres. Matt Kemp leads off the Padre third, and he drives one to right field, but it's dying quickly in front of Hicks for the first down. Well, there was an interesting swapping third baseman, both switch hitters. Chase Headley to the Yankees and Yangervis Solarte to the Padres. They played almost the same number of games. Hits not that much different. Batting average 14 points higher for Solarte. Home runs the same. RBI's pretty good swap, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
The big difference is that the Padres get 4 extra years, Solarte being the younger player than Headley.
Hey, Chase was a homegrown Padre. Very proud of that. But that's the nature of the business. Being traded. And the one thing, Dick, and you'll be the first to agree with me, I think that when Solarte was acquired, the one thing he brought to this ball club, I remember seeing him in that dugout in Chicago, he brought some serious energy immediately right to this team.
He singled his first time at part of the 3-run first inning for the Padres after Meyers walked one out with 2 away. Solarte singled up the middle, and then Upton bounced one through the right side to make it 1-0, and Norris brought 2 in with his line double into the left field corner. Three and 1. Four to 1. The Padres lead it here in the last of the third. Foul tip, and who got that one? Plate umpire DeMuro.
Yeah, right in the chest protector.
Off the mid and right underneath the chin. Famous umpire name, DeMuro, Lou DeMuro. Now Mike. And Solarte with a 1-out walk. Second free ticket from Eovaldi.
Well, last time up for Melvin Upton Jr., a big at-bat. Padres scored 3 in the first, but look at the defense. They're playing him to pull. Well, what does Melvin Upton Jr. do? Eovaldi throws him a hard fastball down in the zone, about 97, 98. Just playing a little pepper, shortening up the swing a little bit, and a 4-hopper scoring Will Meyers. That was good hitting. When you got a hard thrower like Eovaldi, you don't have to really hump up that swing. Just get that bat head out in front. Let Eovaldi do all the work.
96 on his first fastball strike. Well, in the player swap with Miami, the Padres acquired a 20-year-old right-hander, Chris Paddock. He's 6'4" and 195, a native Texan. He was considered Miami's 17th best prospect. And A.J. Preller, the Padres general manager, sees him in the future as a number 2 or 3 starter. His numbers at Greensboro and low A ball were phenomenal. 48 strikeouts and 2 walks. 2. Ground ball to short. They'll get 1 there, but no chance to double up Upton as Solarte raced, and Upton safe on the fielder's choice. Brings up Derek Norris, who delivered a rope double to left his first time.
Well, he was really out in front of this pitch. That was a fastball down and in. Melvin Upton scoring all the way from first base, creating some excitement here tonight at Petco Park. And the Padre catcher turning that fastball around nicely.
Yeah, with fans joining us around the world on Armed Forces Radio, we'll throughout the course of the night give you the standings in the various divisions. We have a rooting interest perhaps in other teams beyond the Padres and Yankees.
Well, we always talk about catchers in the lineup and when they're in the lineup and when they're not. And for Derek Norris, I mean, it's pretty evident. 31 and 28 with this kid behind the plate. 2 and 17 when he's not, Dick. And the batting average for this club, 259 when he's not in the lineup, 190.
That's a selling point for his value. He helps them to win. And that's to take nothing away from Christian Bethencourt, who shows terrific promise.
And more than a run on the ERA as well. Lower ERA when Derek Norris is behind the plate.
The Padres with Bethencourt to back up Norris, and then their top prospect in the minor leagues, Austin Hedges, the catcher, and he's just tearing up the Pacific Coast. Oh, they got him picked off cleanly. Oh, Evaldi's got to move. He did not even get back to the bag as he was frozen on the move, and he was on his way to second base, and that has to be a frustrating moment.
You know, I got off the plane last night and just a whole flood of memories hit me, but I'm excited to be back. Again, I have incredible memories here and, a lot of good relationships with people out here. So I'm excited to play, but it was a little bit weird coming into the visitors' dugout for sure.
Oh, it's got to be strange. That's Chase Headley on his first return to Petco Park since being traded to the Yankees. He cited of those relationships, he was excited to see Andrew Cashner. And also, he credits Glenn Hoffman. He said he can't wait to see him and say hello. He says he made him a pretty good third baseman.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. It's not an easy thing. I mean, it's part of the game, and it's increasingly so to be traded and change teams. Not like the good old days where you played your entire career with one ball club. And these men have feelings too, and they make relationships, and they do care about their teammates and the fans and the friends they make in a city. And then all of a sudden, you don't have a vote. You get a phone call, and you're 1 day later you're playing in a different uniform. Into the shift, however, and Schimpf in the shift has made the play. And with a Schimpf home run, and now in the shift, we bring in Sweeney.
I'm so glad you said that. That was really well said.
It's nice to see Ryan Schimpf go a la Calle.
I love that homer.
Nice?
Yeah, firsts are always my favorite. Obviously, Ryan Schimpf with the split finger homer.
Yeah, didn't split.
So how you been doing, Mark? We haven't seen you for maybe hours.
Well, I had to work on my suntan a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. But it's really exciting to see the buzz in this ballpark, this beautiful ballpark of ours. And obviously, when you get a packed house and you get that buzz that's around the baseball field, it's really nice.
Yeah, when you walk over from your position out there in left field and you're in with the crowd, I mean, it's magic.
It was constant people.
High fly ball. Deep to right. Kemp going back. He's at the wall and makes the catch. Gregorius flirts with his 9th home run, but the Petco Park dimension's just right for the home team.
Under it just a little bit, the two-seamer, and you know what, he got away with one. He wanted it down and away. This one leaks. Middle of the plate.
Home run in New York.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 out to Aaron Hicks. Fly to left his first time. When he was in Minnesota, Hicks wore number 32. Dave Winfield was his favorite player.
Saw Dave Winfield before the game today. Always good to see Dave, the Hall of Famer here.
You can just imagine with his size how imposing he was on the baseball field.
Yeah, and you know, it's so athletic and do so many things on the ball field.
Schimpf with an easy chance. A 1-2-3 inning for Colin Ray. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
To you by Ram Trucks, and what a magical moment for Tony Gwynn and the San Diego Padres. Game 1, 1998 World Series, Yankee Stadium, and you can see Tony Gwynn handling and keeping his head still and throwing his hands inside this David Wells fastball, second deck off the facade. It was an absolute bullet. What a magical moment it was for the Padres and Tony Gwynn, and what a huge smile we had on Mr. Padres' face after that bomb.
And the Boomer's here at the ballpark tonight.
He
David
is.
Wells.
That must have been electric for you, Mark Sweeney. The dugout Yankee Stadium jumping in the Bronx.
I'll tell you a side story on that, which was pretty interesting. I was in the locker room before that moment happened, and Tony came in after playing defense and coming out of the game, and he said, "I think he's going to try to sneak a fastball by me, and I'm gonna try to jump on it." And I'm just right there, and obviously he's just saying it out loud. He wasn't asking my opinion for obvious reasons. And sure enough, I go out there, I'm over the railing, and he hits that first pitch, fastball in on his hands, and hits it off the second
I think
deck.
all of us watching the game, the Padre fans felt, man, this is going to be it.
Yeah.
Gwynn's hitting home runs here. We're going to show him.
So did we, and the reason why our team and our club was in such an emotional high after beating Atlanta in that big series and then going to the big stage in New York, we thought we just had it. You know, Greg Vaughn hit the home run, and then we had Tony hitting the home run. We thought we were on our way, and unfortunately the Yankees swept us after taking that first game, which really was a tough one to take.
Yeah, the 2 home runs for Greg Vaughn. That was a 2-run shot off the bat of Tony. Then Vaughn, he came up right after him, hit a home run. And there were some people talking. I remember talking to Joe Buck because he was doing that game. He, in between innings, he said, you know what? I remember some people talking. He said, if Padres win this game, they're going to win the World Series.
Yeah.
3-1 to Norris and a leadoff walk. The Padre catcher knocked into his first time up, and he leads off the fourth with the walk.
Well, 50 home runs for Greg Vaughn in 1998 season, and he basically took the whole team on his back for a 2-month period. And that was another moment for Greg Vaughn in our 1998 club. We believed that we were going to win, and that first game was a huge benchmark, and unfortunately did not go our way.
Alexei Ramirez grounded to third his first time. Padres get the leadoff man on with a 4-1 lead here at Petco. First pitch in there. Both pitchers using a lot of tosses here early. Jammed, charged by Gregorius. One play to first base with Norris moving into scoring position.
Let's go back last inning. Remember Melvin Upton Jr. was on first base? Well, Nathan Eovaldi gets away with a balk. Watch his front foot right there. Watch his toe. Roll it. He moves it first. That's a balk, because you've got to take your back foot up off first, lose contact with the rubber, and then your front foot moves. He moves the front foot. He got away with it. That is a balk.
And that's what Upton's reading, that front foot.
And is that something that a pitcher will set up?
Absolutely.
I mean, just going over there and then knowing the timed balk move is probably important.
And Mark, you've ran the bases before. There are a number of different parts of the pitcher you watch for, right? And what is one of them?
Well, it's the back foot.
Exactly.
I mean, you're looking for that back foot. You're focused on one element of that pitcher's move.
And when a pitcher's in the stretch position, when you lift that front foot, that heel, you assume he's going home, right?
Yeah.
Well, Eovaldi lifted that front heel. You assume he's going to the plate, but no. He stops, he spins, he gets away with the balk move.
You know, guys, there's so many times that if you've seen Nate Eovaldi pitching, and you know that's part of his routine, you will actually go to the umpires and ask them to look for that balk move. And because this is an interleague play, you wonder if that was even seen on that scouting report from the Padres' perspective.
Boy, Schimpf just got a good pitch and fouled it back. Homered this last time, his first big league home run. And we're talking about the move by Eovaldi. Chance to add to the 4-1 lead. The Padres here in the fourth. A late swing and a miss. Eovaldi, his second strikeout. Brings up the pitcher, Colin Ray.
Looked like a high slider, Mark Sweeney. It's not where he wanted it. He wanted it down, but still up in the zone a little bit. Looks very inviting from the righty to the left-handed hitter. for the strikeout.
Ray bounced to short his first time.
Mark Sweeney, I was mentioning to Dick earlier, when Colin Ray toes the slab, the whole city of Cascade, Iowa shuts down.
Oh, I believe it.
They go to Dagwoods, it's a tavern in town,
Yep.
and they go to the bowling alley. Roll some stanzas, have some social sparklers, and turn on the TV and watch the kids.
It's a late night for them, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Popped up. Middle of the diamond. And the shortstop Gregorius squeezes the third out, and we go on to the fifth inning here in San Diego with the Padres in front, 4-1. He's got 3 in the first inning. The first run came home on Upton's single to right. That brought in Meyers, and then Derek Norris rifled a double into the left field corner. That brought in Solarte and Upton all the way from first base. The Yankees got their run on this RBI single off the bat of Jacob Ellsbury as Gregorius beat the throw to the plate. And the Padres made it 4-1 as Ryan Schimpf hit his first major league home run. And that's where we stand going to the fifth inning. Our Harrah's game summary. Eovaldi 4 hits, one of them a home run. Ray 3 hits, but just 1 run allowed. Schimpf with the home run, and Norris knocking in 2 with that double. Top of the fifth. Eovaldi, the pitcher, leads it off. Struck out swinging his first time. Ellsbury and then Gardner in the Yankee fifth. And you see the Yankees all wearing the number 8 on the left sleeve of their uniform, honoring the great catcher, Hall of Famer Yogi Berra. Third strikeout for Ray.
Throw another breaking ball.
No, not quite yet. The third strikeout. 1-2. There's the third strikeout. Time now for the greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, the Dodgers placed Clayton Kershaw on the DL, and now Jock Peterson as well with a shoulder problem. Zach Greinke scratched from his next start. We thought we'd see him in the upcoming series, but he has an oblique. And Carlos Santana with that home run in the 19th inning in Toronto. And Cleveland, the Indians, a 14-game winning streak.
How about Carlos Santana leading off for the Tribe? That's a big leadoff hitter.
Yeah, no kidding.
Pulled to the second baseman, Schimpf, and Ellsbury is out. 2 gone. Well, Clayton Kershaw, I could argue that he's the best in baseball. 11-2 1.79 ERA. You hit 185 against him, and he's had some back issues, an epidural to try to relieve the pain, and he's on the disabled list now for a little over 2 weeks.
Well, anytime you talk about an epidural in your back, that's not good, especially when you're taxed for 30+ starts. And Clayton Kershaw obviously is the staple for that pitching staff, and they definitely need him. I think the Dodgers are in trouble.
Well, we start tonight. The Giants have hit the 50-win mark. They lead the Dodgers by 6. Colorado 11.5. Arizona 14 back. And the Padres 16 behind San Francisco in the National League West.
You know, guys, we've talked about this many times, the impact of Clayton Kershaw, but without Clayton Kershaw, the starters record is like well below 500.
Yes.
So you're right, that's a big void. Huge. Huge.
Yeah, they went out and acquired Bud Norris, who was with the Padres late last year. They need some arms.
Well, and an interesting fact, too, if you think about it, that most likely he is not going to perform at the All-Star game, too. So it does impact the fans' experience of possibly having Clayton Kershaw even start that game.
That's in there, 1-2. Gardner is grounded out and struck out. Here's a look at the West again, with the Giants 6 atop the division. 50 wins for San Francisco. They've been tough. They're doing it without Hunter Pence in the dirt, 2-2.
In fact, the Dodgers have lost 35 of 65 games started by someone other than Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
2 outs, bases empty for the Yankees here in the 5th. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and recounting the K's for Ray. That's 5. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Padre right-hander. Good moving on that fastball. Brought to you by Mission Federal Credit Union. Earlier today, Mission Fed donated over $23,000 and provided tickets to representatives from Rady's Children's Hospital. Mission Fed donates around $1.5 million a year to local charities. Good on them. Jankowski, the leadoff hitter here in the 5th, punches that foul. He's grounded out and thrown out trying to bunt the last time. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Padres. 1 run, 3 hits for the visitors from New York.
Well, Dick, you see Chase Headley in on the grass because of that bunt attempt. It just opens up lanes. Obviously not getting on with that bunt because Eovaldi fielded easily. But that's something that Jankowski's going to have to implement into his game. And the more playing time he gets, he's going to have to put that into his game. He's opening holes, especially on that left side, can be very important for that left-handed hitter.
Meyers and Kemp to follow against Eovaldi here in the 5th.
Split finger grip, and he adjusts accordingly.
Line drive, base hit. Solidly struck out to right field. And Jankowski, speedster, is aboard to lead off the 5th.
Well, it looked like indeed he stayed with that changeup. Leg kick by Jankowski. That ball just drops into that slot where Jankowski can drill that into the hole in between first and second. Good 2-strike hitting. Jankowski continues to improve with every at-bat.
You know, the Padres doing a good job tonight, turning on that fastball from Eovaldi and taking advantage of that poorly located splitty.
Meyers walked and scored, struck out the last time. And the Padres going to keep an eye on Eovaldi, who was picked off Melvin Upton, but as Mark Grant so astutely has located and directed your attention, Eovaldi a little tricky move with the feet, getting away with it.
I'm sure somebody's got to put a bug in the umpire's ear, don't you think, Mark?
You have to, especially after it happens.
See if he did it there again, maybe.
This is when they try to pick up that front foot just a little bit sooner and still go over, but not give that A-game balk move that he already showed against Melvin Upton Jr.
Time now. Checking out the Cholula flamethrower.
Well, Eovaldi, you know that he's got some serious petrol. Mark Sweeney, triple dip. 99.
It's hot sauce. It's a visiting
team.
Yeah.
So
you know my rule.
I agree.
You don't even give him. You got to give him a little Cholula. I mean, the sponsors won't
I'm a fan of Nate Eovaldi, but that's hot sauce.
I like it. Visiting.
2-1 the count.
Caliente.
35 Cholulas from Eovaldi. Matters. Hashtag care.
Hashtag hot sauce.
Hashtag
matters.
scoreboard.
2 balls and a strike to Meyers. 3-1.
You know what my good friend Mike Kruk always used to say? Talk about an opposing player. Boy, this guy's got this. Boy, if he was any good, he'd be on our team.
So Meyers can be selective here. 3-1. And takes a strike on the outside corner.
Good pitch.
That really tells you what Nate Eovaldi thinks of Will Meyers. 3-1 slider.
Leadoff man Jankowski there at first with a base hit.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes fastball in here. He's got the 2 strikes. They were sliders. Maybe take a shot at hitting that perfect pitch, that fastball in.
Looked like he shook out the fastball away, and then he went fastball in.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to throw it. I guess he does.
Fastball away. Runner goes. Drive to right field. That's hit deep to right center, and it is gone. Touch 'em all. Will Meyers, the hottest hitter in the National League of the month of June, opens July with a shot to right, number 19 of the season, and the Padres lead 6-1.
We've seen a lot of pretty swings from Will Meyers, and he just continues to get better and better and better, and what a great way to start off the month of July after a hot June. Mark Sweeney, He's got to be looking fastball. It was a full count, and rather than trying to pull the baseball, nice, easy, let the big boy eat, and he goes the opposite field.
Yeah, the indecision of Nady Eovaldi really created an easier at-bat for Will Meyers. He is fully committed on that fastball, and that's a good sign. That's a sign of maturation with the way he has had that month of June and leading into July.
And hitting the majority of his home runs to right and right center.
Now, to your point, Dick, that's what you are as a hitter, especially at a big ballpark, knowing you can go the other way. And this is what confidence is all about. You see the point of contact and the pose at the top. That's the finish of a confident hitter, and you're seeing that in Will Meyers. That's a great sign.
Kemp fouls that away, 1-2. So the leadoff single, Jankowski, comes around on Meyers' 19th homer of the season.
You know what I love is when a hitter, we saw it right there, when a hitter hits that baseball, they watch the trajectory, but then they'll focus on the outfielders. I mean, if they're going back, you see name and number, you got a good chance of going yard.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the feel off the bat. And Will Meyers has felt that sweet spot so many times.
411 feet, they guesstimate the distance on that home run.
Well, the greatest thing Will Meyers has done to this point this year is now he expects to be good every single night.
Stay hot.
The American League Rookie of the Year 3 years ago. Injured last couple of years, healthy this season.
Just read his lips, was talking to a teammate and said that was nice. And it sure was.
And Eovaldi, as we mentioned, the last 5 games has coughed up 10 home runs, and now here in game 6, 2 more.
A little crisscross going on right there from that kid, wearing the jersey backwards. Meyers on the front.
Looks like a young Khalil Green.
Will Meyers will make it jump. He's going Luigi.
That's cool. Full count to Kemp. Rolled to short. Gregorius across. 1 away. Jan Solarte, the batter.
You know what's nice about this inning? Single home run, 2 runs, and Dick, you just said ground ball to short, 1 out. That's music to your ears, isn't it? 2 runs and a ground ball, 1 out after scoring 2.
You mentioned earlier that the Padres have out-homered the Yankees this year. It's a bit of a shocking statistic. Solarte rolled a single to center and walked the last time. Manager Girardi can't like what he's seeing so far. And the bullpen is busy.
Connor
Molly.
Bullpen coach Mike Harkey.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. And now with 2 strikes, Headley will leave the left side, go over to the second base side, and Gregorius will shift over to the normal position for him. Still has the velocity. That has given up a couple of home runs to left-handed hitting Ryan Schimpf and right-handed batter Will Meyers. Dying in center field, tough chance, and it's off the glove of Ellsbury. Solarte on his way to second and pulls up there with a double. Dying duck out there in left center that serves as a double, and Joe Girardi has seen enough with the Padres leading 6-1 and a man at second base with 1 out. Good effort by Ellsbury, right off the tip of the webbing of his glove. Pitching change here at Petco in the 5th inning, and the Padres enjoying a 5-run advantage. Baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sign up for the new Padres Club card today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack before it's gone. And by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. Padres with a 6-1 lead have chased starter Nate Eovaldi. Connor Malee into relief with a runner at second and 1 out, and Malee is in as a pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
Pretty much a 3-pitch pitcher for Malee. Fastball, changeup, slider, 90 to 94. He's got a little bit of sink to that fastball.
Inherits a runner at second base, and a swing and a miss by Melvin Upton, who has an RBI single and safe on a fielder's choice.
Second stint with the Yankees for Malee. Was recrawled from AAA Scranton, as Andy Ashby would say.
Swing and a miss at a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Asked Andy, hey, where'd you pitch AAA with the Phillies? Scranton. Said you throw the ball well there in AAA? He goes, yeah, free and easy.
I love the Ashman.
Oh, he's the best.
0-2, Malee to Upton. Way outside. Malee did his college work at St. Peter's of New Jersey. It was a Yankee pick, a late pick, 24th round 6 years ago. Middle infielder in college, but with a strong arm. Padres saw that as an asset that they might explore, and sure enough, here he is on the mound. Low and away, 2-2.
Oh, good layoff on the 2 breaking balls.
Got him with a breaking ball. So 2 out to Derek Norris. Well, the June offense of the Padres, second in the National League in runs scored per game and batting average. Andy Green's club starting tonight and racked up half a dozen, 6-1 the lead.
Well, if you believe in the process, I think this offense is just going to continue their ways, and they've proven to themselves that they can do that. And I think it has a lot to do with Will Meyers. You have to have at least one or two guys step up. Will Meyers obviously did just that in the month of June. Also, this hitter Derek Norris as well.
Yeah, his bat came to life in June. Not that he didn't hit the ball hard in April and May, but he just couldn't buy a hit. It's solid in June, and he comes up with a big 2-run double in the first inning tonight. Walked his last time.
Well, you've seen some adjustments from Derek Norris too. Obviously, it's easy to talk about Will Meyers, but Derek Norris has modified that leg kick. It's given him more time to see that ball and get his foot down a little bit sooner. You know, and that's the key. You always think about the swings from Derek Norris, but the takes are just as important. Alan Zinter understands if you stay in the strike zone and you see the ball well, see it early, it's going to help Derek Norris. And on that last pitch, that slider off the plate, he is staying off that. Rather than 1-1, it's 2-0. Now he bought himself a possible fastball.
Just off the plate, 3-0.
Yeah, that's what consistency does, and not getting your head down. Look at those numbers. May 203, June 273, the home runs, the RBIs. Probably, you know what, Derek Norris is one of those players, the most consistent as far as when things are going poorly and when things are going well for him. He is the same all the way around.
A good Kansas upbringing.
You know who else was like that? Brian Giles.
Yep.
He could be in the midst of an over 28 slump. He could break his bat, a little 4-3 play. He would bust his tail down the first base line, cross the bag, last out, take his helmet off, hand it to the first base coach.
Yeah,
to go out to his position and play defense.
I totally agree. That takes a lot of mental toughness to be able to do that.
And the count full. Yankees are just opening a long road trip, and it started tough. They played a game last night in New York and didn't get here to the wee hours. And morning papers beat them to town.
Yeah, also had a rain delay the other night and didn't get over till 1:30. So that's going to affect you. Those are the problem days, especially when you have a West Coast trip like you said, Dick.
They play 3 here, then they go back to Chicago for 3, and then down to Red Hot Cleveland for 4 before the All-Star break.
CC Sabathia.
He was supposed to pitch on Sunday, but they've moved him back. We'll see Chad Green. Again, the 3-2. High in the air, hooking into foul territory. Gregorius and Headley, and it's Gregorius who's able to tumble with the ball. That ball coming back severely. Good play made by the shortstop. That's it for the Padres, but they get 2 more after the single by Jankowski. Will Meyers goes the opposite way. Sweet, number 19.
the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia. And Colin Ray has retired the last 8 Yankees in a row, striking out 5 tonight, and enjoys a 6-1 lead.
Yeah, it's always nice getting a little support. You be a little bit more aggressive in the zone. He's got the, one thing I noticed, Mark, swing the fastball into the lefties early. He established that. Hey, he hit Teixeira, that's going to happen. But I think that's opened up the avenue for other pitches as well.
I agree. I loved your point earlier. Even those uncomfortable pitches for Colin Ray will set up swings and misses. He's got to try to create that. He's done a nice job tonight by making these Yankee hitters uncomfortable.
77 pitches to get through the first 5 innings. It'll be Teixeira, McCann, and Castro for the Yankees in the 6th. Teixeira looped a single to right and was hit by that inside pitch in the 3rd inning. There's our gopher cam.
Love that.
Give me some on that, Professor. That's a good one.
Popped up softly. Ramirez has to roam back to the 3rd base spot. And that's 9 in a row retired.
Gopher cam.
You just got to keep your eyes on them. They like to watch a game too.
What's wrong with Gophers? 4?
Do you know what Gophers can do to a golf course?
I knew that was coming.
I'll put my best man on it.
Here we go.
That's hilarious.
See the head gopher. He gets just eyeballs above the dirt level. And then he gets on his little phone and he calls back into the clubhouse.
So that's outside.
No.
I want to see if
challenge this pitch.
Is that Nellie Fox, number 2? That's an old White Sox jersey.
Yeah, that's the right number and the right name for it.
Yeah.
High ball hit well to center field. That's way back. And at the wall, Jankowski can't get it. Brian McCann with the home run, number 13 for the Yankee catcher. His 238th career home run. Right on the sweet spot.
Yeah, 2-seamer right down the middle. 1-0 fastball.
Well, that scattered some drinks out there in the San Diego beach. Free swinging Starlin Castro has walked and wrapped into a 1-4-6-3 double play the last time. So the home run by McCann snaps the string of 9 straight outs from Colin Ray and cuts the Padre lead to 6-2. Yeah, the Mark Sweeney, Mark Grant look in that Yankee dugout. 412 feet. They measure the home run by McCann.
Wonder what razors they use.
How often do you have to shave your pate?
Once a day.
I'm like every other. Really? Yeah. Oh, you got a problem with that?
Clean it up.
Rip. Oh, nice stop by Solarte. Throws across, gets him. Fine play by the Padre 3rd baseman. Takes a base hit away from Castro.
Oh, the reactions. Watch him going to his left and the glove work. I just love the emotion of Solarte. It's what he needs emotionally into this game, and especially this series. This is huge for Solarte playing his former team.
He wants to leave an impression with that Yankee dugout. They're the closest to him there at 3rd base. And with a shift on, the bunt try will go foul. Picked up by Jose Espada, the 3rd base coach. Headley trying to beat the shift with the bunt. Has grounded twice into the shift.
That drives me crazy. I'll tell you why. You're bunting with 2 outs. Chase Headley's not a base stealer, and we know that.
So automatically you're saying you got to get another hit or two to score a run.
And I understand it is a free hit if you execute it correctly. But if I'm managing and I'm in that dugout, I want a double extra base hit. And he's trying to lay down a bunt with 2 outs, and they're down by 4 runs.
totally agree with you. It'd be a different story if there was a big bobber behind him, right? Maybe to drive him in.
Yeah.
But you're right. He's not going to steal you a base. The Yankee team doesn't steal a lot of bases. They don't have a lot of speed. I'm right there with you. I said it about Joey Votto in Cincinnati.
Well, the shift has definitely changed the mindset of some of these hitters.
Now, that whole scenario changes if we're talking about a one-run game.
Yeah, definitely. But you just saw your teammate Brian McCann hit one out, and you know Colin Ray, that's in the back of his mind, and you're trying to lay down a bunt.
Pops him up. Medium deep center field. Jankowski coasts under it. And that'll do it for the Yanks in the 6th. The Padres have a 6-2 lead. Time for a great moment in All-Star history, brought to you by Geico. Turner Field, Atlanta, All-Star Game 2000. Yankee shortstop Derek Jeter, the hero, going 3 for 3 in the game, doubled off Randy Johnson, singled and scored against Kevin Brown, and then had a 2-run single in the 4th off Al Leiter. The American League would win the game 6-3. Despite their rich history, Jeter became the first Yankees player ever to win the All-Star MVP award. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Padres leading 6-2. It'll be the bottom 3. Ramirez, Schimpf, and the pitcher Ray, or a pinch hitter against Connor Molee. Ramirez has grounded to the left side, both at bats. And another pulls it to third. Headley. 1 away.
Well, guys, the Yankees, not the typical season that the pinstripers would hope to have. They're 8 games out in the American League East. Now, are they buyers or sellers? Here are some hot arms that a lot of teams in the hunt would love to have. Mark Sweeney, your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that's the most intimidating threesome in the game, in my opinion, with the type of stuff that they have. Now, if you look at what goes on, Chapman is a free agent next year, so you think he possibly could be on the move. Andrew Miller's probably going to give you a pretty good haul. I think Dylan Betances, because of his contract and because of the team control, I don't think he's going anywhere. All 3 of them can be top closers immediately.
Any other Yankees that you suspect might be trade bait?
Well, I think the pitching is just definitely what people are going to try to do. They're trying to shorten the game, just like the Yankees formula was coming into the season. If you look at all 3 of those, I think they could immediately be top closers in any club that tries to acquire them.
Yeah, but Betances is still under control for 3 years, so
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
So Alex Dickerson in the on-deck circle. Apparently, he's going to hit for the pitcher Ray. Colin Ray has his 6 innings in the book.
You know, guys, what wouldn't surprise me too is you go out there and you trade a Chapman. You get some good return, but I think the Yankees are one of those teams that could say, listen, we want to sign you in the offseason. Trade them, get some players, and have them back. Because obviously the Kansas City Royals have that template of bullpen and how to shorten games. That's the reason why the Yankees have those three.
Schimpf fouls that one back. Ryan hit his first major league home run his first time up. Well, there's going to be a lot of talk, and the Padres have certainly cast their line in the water here by trading away Fernando Rodney. And again, I don't think there was anyone in that clubhouse or those of us in the media that just didn't fall in love with Fernando Rodney. What a guy. He's going to be terrific. I hope he just lights out for Miami. And I think his teammates feel that way. He was good in the bullpen. He was good in the clubhouse. He was marvelous on the mound.
Absolutely. He's the guy you root for. You want to see good things happen.
You definitely root for, and you understand too the impact was not just on the field as well. That bullpen, how he brought everyone together in the locker room. All of those things, components are very important, especially when you're trying to develop a culture here in San Diego.
Well, Andy Green even said himself, we had a clip of him saying that how influential he was to Luis Perdomo.
Padres' young right arm that was a Rule 5 for those of you just joining us for the first time. A very talented 22-year-old, but learning on the job, on the fly here in the major leagues. Had never been above Class A ball, but here's a steadying influence. And Rodney, 39, a year older than his manager, Andy Green. And there's Perdomo out in the Padre pen. He was slated to pitch Sunday, but Andrew Kastner has recovered from the neck injury, and now he is ticketed to go. Watch out. Line shot into the ground.
Well, Dick, I think if you look at it, Mark, you know this. I think the impact that Fernando Rodney had at the beginning of the season brought a lot of value, and that's the reason why you go out and get a Chris Paddock, because this youngster, even though he's in Single A, is opening up so many eyes in the scouts, and you see the walks.
That's amazing.
Strikeouts that's Clayton Kershaw, the way that is. But you think about it, it's only Single A, but you're getting an impact player that the Marlins had a lot of upside to, and I think that Fernando Rodney, because of how well he pitched, brought him to that level of prospect, and you can't say no to that.
So Schimpf has worked the count full here with one out in the 6th. And battling away with Alex Dickerson on deck. Let's go back to his first big league blast.
Mark Sweeney looked like a split-finger fastball.
Oh, I loved it. You heard the sound. Had good sound to it. Every time you get your first, hopefully he has that in his locker after the game and after a Padre win.
Yeah, they were campaigning, some of the Padre ushers, to get that ball from the fan, make a deal.
Well, knowing Spencer Dallin and his crew, they'll go get it.
Oh, yeah. Before this game started, Ryan Schimpf hitting 103. Schimpf was asleep, but somebody woke up to Schimpf, and he went yard right center field.
Former LSU Tiger Corey Spangenberg, the Padres starter at second base, suffering a terrible hamstring and then re-injuring it. And that's a well-earned walk by Schimpf. Quite a battle. And with one out, the Padres will bring up Alex Dickerson. So Ray goes 6 innings, allows 2 runs earned, only 4 hits. Hit a batter, didn't walk a man, and struck out 5. And with the left-handed batter introduced, out goes Girardi. Is this a pitching change, or is there something wrong? And the trainer's out there too. Looks like Connor Mully says, no, I'm okay. Looking at that pitching hand. Teammate certainly concerned look. Here's that last pitch, way off the mark, and
Kind of see him shake his arm a little bit there after that pitch.
That gets the bullpen going. Richard Blyer. Now we have all 3 of the 4 umpires in on the huddle.
He's probably working on making a double switch. The pitcher spot due up 3rd next inning for the Yankees.
Lee, something went wrong, and they're going to make sure they take care of that immediately. Off to the training room. We've got a pitching change. The Padres here in the 6th enjoy a 6-2 lead. So the Padres and the Yankees opening this 3-game weekend series at Petco Park in front of a big crowd. We expect large turnouts tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon as well. The American League East standings. Baltimore Orioles just leaving town, and they showed their muscle against the Padres. Throwing a lot of runs, that Baltimore team, and they now have a 4-game lead over the Red Sox. They lost, and the Red Sox won tonight. Toronto at 5.5, the Yankees 7.5 back at the moment, and Tampa Bay brings up the pack in last place at 14 behind. So the new pitcher is Richard Blyer for the Yankees, former Florida Gulf Coast star, born and raised and still lives in Davie, Florida, around the Miami Dolphins training camp. Alex Dickerson, the pinch hitter, so they go lefty against lefty.
Well, Blyer's not a hard thrower by any means. 87 to 92, more of a sinker type guy. Slider and a changeup from the left side.
29 years of age, Blyer. Breaking ball, and it's 1-1. He was a 6th-round Blyer, 6th-round pick of the Rangers back in 2008. Lifetime minor leaguer. Now finally with the Yankees here, his first major league experience. His 9th appearance, 8 innings, 9 hits and 3 runs. Rob Refsnyder replaces Headley at third in the double switch. Chopped out in front of the plate. Blyer makes the play. And Shrimp moves to second base on the put out. So leadoff man Jankowski with a chance to pick up a run. Singleton scored a run in the 5th inning. He's grounded out and was out on a bunt trap. Along with the trade, Rodney, to the Marlins for Chris Paddock, the Padres also have activated Paul Clemens, 28-year-old right-hander. They claimed him off Miami waivers. He's in uniform tonight. Driven into the right field corner at the pole. Foul. Wow, that was close. Jankowski flirting with his 2nd home run of the year.
Oh, you got to love this from Travis Jankowski on our Phantom Cam, staying behind the baseball, controlling that head. And we see on our Gopher Cam, that is beautiful.
Well, that's, you got to, if you're that Gopher, you got to be ducking on that one. I mean, he might be scraping one up the middle.
Almost got the Gopher right there.
Boy,
watch your chicklets.
Watch your chicklets is right.
Yeah, those two incisors. We may not have that that camera functioning now. They can pull a plug on it.
Oh, they can.
Oh no, they got it. They got it going again. 0-2 to Jankowski. 2 outs. Man at second is Schimpf. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 complete here at Petco. The Padres leading by 4.
It's the best with the best, and that was the best part of it. To actually be on the same field with that guy, to be on the same field with all the great hitters. Yes, Tony was our star at that time, and just playing on the same. How many times we're going across the field? God, I wish we played together. I wish I had you every single day.
Yeah. The tributes and salutes to our great number 19, Mr. Padre. Tony Gwynn, you're not going to want to miss this terrific 1 hour of television that honors Tony Gwynn. It's going to be Tuesday night after the Arizona game, after Padres Live. Full hour, Hoffman, Stewart, Grant, Gwynn, Sweeney, Greg Vaughn sharing stories along with Tony's wife. And it's emotional, and
it was great. It was magical.
It's really your pals, your friends sitting around talking about, gosh, we miss our good friend, and that really is what it amounted to. And I think it's the best television show of the year for us. High pop up around home plate. Norris makes the play in foul territory, and Gregorius is gone.
Big first out for Brad Hand with the 4-run lead. It's getting late here in the 7th. 38th game for Brad. Having a pretty good year from the left side. 3 left-handers in the Padre bullpen for Andy Green.
And with Rodney gone, it's going to be interesting to see who evolves as the closer, who's going to be the 8th inning setup man. Andy Green hinted that that hasn't been a definite decision, has not been made, but probably they're going to go with Brandon Maurer if we go to a closer tonight. That one sails down the right field line. That'll be out of play. Aaron Hicks is flied out and grounded out.
And you know what, Dick, with those 3 left-handers down there, I think there's a left-hander down there that has capabilities of being a closer as well.
Ryan Buchter, I know that's who you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Well, it's a chance, for all those arms out there in the bullpen to establish themselves as the man.
A lot of managers, when they don't have the clear-cut closer, they will say, hey, it's going to boil down to matchups. If there's a lefty that's coming up with 2 outs and there's a righty out there, Andy Green might go with Buchter.
Darren Balsley, the pitching coach there to the right of the skipper Green. One and one to Aaron Hicks. Breaking ball hangs high. Count levels at 2-2. Yeah, we mentioned that Hicks always followed Dave Winfield, wore 32 at Minnesota, but now he's a Yankee and he's wearing number 31 as a Yankee. How about that? Huh? He's consistent, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And he's caught looking as well. Strike 3. And his hero Winfield here. Hope he gets a chance to say hello to him.
Burying the fastball into the righty. Got to get it in there, and Brad Hand does just that. Hits the glove of Derek Norris. And the Gopher's smiling from ear to ear right now.
Wearing his Padre gear,
Yeah, he is.
2 away. And this is Refsnyder, who went in the double switch and hitting in the pitcher spot. He's had 61 at bats with 18 hits, so flirting with a 300 average. No home runs. Born in Seoul, South Korea. Wondering if he's an Army brat. Grew up in Southern California, attended University of Arizona.
Oh, bad day for the Wildcats the other day. Coastal Carolina taking the crown.
The Chanticleers at Coastal Carolina. University in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area.
Yeah.
And that shocked the college baseball world.
Yes,
what a
did.
program down there.
Great for the program.
I was looking through the Major League Draft. They had all the list of the potential players in the top 100. I didn't see one Coastal Carolina kid in there. So just a good team. Refsnyder caught looking. A couple of punch out for Brad Hand. Both looking. Stretch half of the 7th.
star of the game. Will Meyers continuing his hot hitting. 2-run homer tonight along with a walk. He scored 2 of the 6 Padre runs. That was number 19 on the season.
Will Meyers striking the pose, going straight vogue.
Against Richard Blyer, leading off here in the 7th. Takes low. Meyers, Kemp, and Solarte for the Padres. Yeah, it's in there, 1-1. It's the outside edge, 1-2. Seattle beats Baltimore tonight, 5-2. After taking the Padres 2 games here, they've gone up to Seattle, and the Mariners have prevailed the first 2 of their 4-game series. 1-2 to Meyers. Arizona shuts out the Giants tonight. Check that. Giants were the winners tonight, 6-4 at Arizona. 51st win of the year for San Francisco.
See Blyer trying to keep everything down and in.
Watch out. Everyone's screaming back into the second deck. Well, the National League All-Star first base candidates, Will Meyers, although he's not getting the popular vote, a late start, but certainly those on the West Coast who have watched him know he's deserving. Rizzo, Belt, Goldschmidt, it's a tough competition.
Yeah, I've got reason to believe it's going to be Anthony Rizzo, like about a lot of other people.
Into left field, another hit for Meyers. So he gets off speed, and he just patiently pulls it through the 5.5 hole.
Stay hot, Will Meyers. Hey, fouling off some good pitches to stay alive, taking pitches out of the zone, pitch recognition. He's got the eagle eye, hand-eye coordination. Boy, head is down. Drive that ball.
That'll bring up Matt Kemp. 0 for 3 tonight, 2 flyouts and a ground ball to short. Meyers average now up to 288.
Seems like that shift against Matt Kemp all the time. He's got that big hole on that right side. We've seen him punch the ball through there when pitchers try to jam him inside. Ryan Buchter heating up for San Diego, the left-hander.
So it looks as if it'll be Buchter, the setup man, and Mauer, the 9th inning, if it continues the score as we now know it. Right center field. Ellsbury to the edge of the track. 1 away. Tonight's game presented by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. Well, the crowd tonight, 41,321 here at Petco Park. Another big house expected tomorrow night. Baseball night in San Diego, national television. Reminder, we'll be back here on Fox Sports San Diego, 1 o'clock for Padre Live, the pregame show on Sunday. Solarte hitting right-handed for the first time, a single, a double, and a walk from the left side. Dodgers about to close out Colorado. They lead 5-0 in the 9th inning. Mets
beat the Cubs 10-2. Runner goes. Big jump. And on top of everything else, Meyers is a good base runner. Gets up and he's on his way to third on the throwing error. But he had the base stolen cleanly. 12 steals for Meyers. Moves on to third on the error charged to the catcher McCann.
What is it that this kid can't do? Hit for power, hit for average, slugging percentage, stealing the base, taking the extra 90 feet.
And so with no one out, they're going to bring the infield in with the Padres leading by 4. So infield tied hitter's delight for Solarte, who takes a strike, 2-1. Did he go? No.
Ooh. Thank you. I think Solarte may have caught the break there.
I think he checked.
You think he checked? Yeah,
yeah.
Second look. Okay, yeah. I can see that.
Hitter's delight here, 3-1. And ball 4. Julie Alexandria, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, that was Will Meyers' 12th stolen base of the season. He had told me earlier that his personal goal is to get 20 stolen bases. He said he kind of just picked that number. He really wants to have it by the end of the year. Guys, I think he's going to get there. And also, an interesting stat, players with 10 home runs or more and 10 stolen bases or more in the National League right now as it stands, Will Meyers leading. Now with 19 home runs and now 12 stolen bases. Under him, Bryce Harper, 16 home runs, 10 stolen bases. Then Paul Goldschmidt with 14 home runs and 10 stolen bases. And guess who's fourth? Melvin Upton Jr. with 12 home runs and 18 stolen bases.
Thank you. And Upton leading that pack of 4 with his 18 steals. There's a break in the action. Runners at first and third. Pitching change made by Joe Girardi. Here in the 7th inning with the home team leading 6-2. San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Will Meyers hitting, fielding, and running the bases for the Padres. They're at first and third. Meyers at third. Solarte on base for the 4th straight time tonight on the walk, and the new pitcher is Anthony Swarzak.
Basically a 2-pitch pitcher for this Yankee right-hander. 90 to 96. Fastball and a slider. He's a strike thrower. He's around the plate. You can see 11 strikeouts, only 1 walk.
Melvin Upton, an RBI single in 3 trips. Runners at the corners, and he takes strike 1 at 85. Ronald Torreyes goes in at third base in the double switch. Padres with an opportunity to add on to that 6-2 advantage. In the dirt, good dig by McCann. Torreyes, youngster, just 23, Venezuela. Claimed by the Yankees off waivers from the Angels at the start of spring training. And it's 1-2.
Hey, follow Padres Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Upton trying to add to the Padres lead with Meyers 90 feet away at third. Solarte at first. 1 out. Outside. Swarzak came up to the bigs in 2009 with Minnesota. 5 years with the Twins. Last year was with Cleveland, 10 games. Yankees picked him up on waivers as a free agent in February at the start of spring training. Line, but slicing foul.
We had the right idea. You know, Swarzak a little sneaky fast with that 93-mile-an-hour fastball, like Melvin Upton Jr. did earlier. As you take a look at the Padres box score, Melvin 1 for 3. Remember, he chopped that ball to the right side. Same thing with that fastball, trying to wear out right field.
Six runs, 8 hits for San Diego. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Yankees. Tap back to the mound, and they got to play at the plate. And Swarzak lobs the ball. Here's Meyers way in foul territory, but he's able to work long enough to get Solarte to third. So the job well done by Meyers. He was going to be out anyway, but able to delay the Yankees enough in the rundown to get Solarte over to third. Upton stays at first.
Great job by Will Meyers. I mean, that's not easy, starting and stopping. So now, as a runner, he creates his own lane there by going way out of the base path, but he was tagged, no problem. And I don't know whether the Yankees are on the phone for that play at third base or what, but Mark Carlson, the third base umpire, was all over it. A hand is on the bag. Does he come off? Stays on the bag.
Clearly safe.
Yeah.
So Derek Norris has knocked in 2 of the Padre runs back in the first inning with a double. Left field corner walked and fouled out. 2 away now at runners at first and third. And there goes Upton, and the ball inside. Upton steals easily. That'll be his 19th of the season.
really good jump. Even on the slide step, no chance. Upton goes in, standing up.
So a couple of men in scoring position for Norris here with 2 outs in the 7th.
This is a big AB right here for Derek.
2-0.
2 huge runs out there, Professor.
That's third. They have a grand slam lead now, but a base hit could make it 8-2 with time running out on New York. Two balls and a strike.
That's a nice slider. Good tilt, good depth to it. Straight down out of the hand of Swarzak.
John Jay, that right arm wrist fracture in the cast, so they'll be out of commission for a month or so. That ball gets away. Solarte will score at 7-2. That's the importance of Meyers getting in that rundown to get Solarte 90 feet away to take advantage.
I'll tell you what, you talk about a frog with a tennis racket. That ball not even close to the pocket of Brian McCann, off the thumb. And Solarte scores easily. Melvin Upton Jr. moves up to third base as well.
On the pass ball. A 5-run lead for the Padres. 3-1 now the count on Norris. And he pops it up right side. The first baseman Teixeira. But the Padres get a gift run on a single, a walk, and a pass ball. It's 7-2.
Mark Sweeney and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show. 7-2 right now. Padres over the Yankees in the top of the 8th inning. It really came out wonderfully as it opened today. It's beautiful.
Mike, you think about the history of the game, also the history of San Diego. It's all here. Come out here in left field. It's an absolutely beautiful exhibit and good to see, because if you play for the Padres, it should be very extra special.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Behind us, the wall. If a player is in Cooperstown, spend some time here in San Diego, they're honored on the wall behind us. Inside, a full-blown exhibit. It's fantastic. Hope you get an opportunity to check it out. We're just fortunate enough to be able to stand on this side of the row because it looks great. When we see on Padres Live, the post-game show, we'll break down everything that happened in the ball game today, guys. Also, you're going to hear from Andy Green, and we have a preview of a show we're calling 19 Memories. It's a tribute to one of the men here in the Hall of Fame, Tony Gwynn. and his memories. And tonight we're going to tell you about an interesting story, how he almost gave up the number 19 that we're all so familiar with. He was so close, but in the end, as you know, he kept it. We'll tell you the backstory on that when we see after the final out, gents.
All right. Thank you, Mike and Mark. We'll be with you post-game show. Ryan Buchter comes in here in the 8th inning. Ellsbury, the leadoff man. Left-handed bats with Ellsbury, Gardner. Start things, and so the Padres match up with the southpaw, Buchter. Done a great job.
He's most certainly had. Look at that. Opponent's batting average, 186 on the year.
136 against lefties.
Yeah. Scoreless ball in 33 of his 37 games. He's been lights out.
Ellsbury, an RBI single in 3 at-bats. Most of you know the story, Ellsbury, but it's worth repeating that he is the lone Navajo Native American in Major League Baseball. His mother, a full-blooded Navajo. 7 years with the Red Sox. Sails that one toward the souvenir corner, and that's going to make it into the crowd. He's stolen 50 bases or more 3 times in his career. He's won a Silver Slugger. He's won a Gold Glove. Former Oregon State Beaver. Strike 3, and he knew it. Buchter logs a strike. That's 3 in a row struck out by Padres relief pitching.
Ryan Buchter has got those crosshairs dialed in. That is paint right on the outside corner, knee high. A perfect strike.
Brett Gardner grounded out, struck out twice. Another paint job, strike 1.
You know, Buchter throws across his body a little bit. He's quick with his arm action, coming right on the back of that cap. So deception plays a role in the success of Ryan this year.
Another strike. Well, with the play in baseball on this Friday night, just about all put away except for this game. The team with the most wins in baseball by just 1 game, the Texas Rangers. They won their 52nd tonight, and they leave second place Houston by 8.5 games in the American League West. All the way to the screen. Boston is pulled within 4 of Baltimore in the American League East, and in the Central, the Indians winning their 14th in a row. Kansas City lost, so Cleveland has a 7-game lead in the Central. I'll check the National League for you in a moment. 1-2 the count. Foul back. The top 3 teams in the National League East: Washington, the Mets, and Miami all won. The Nationals lead the Mets by 6. In the Central, the White Sox lost. St. Louis won. So the White Sox lead reduced to 10 in the Central. Got him. 4 straight strikeouts. As Hand got the last 2 in the 7th, and Buchter the first 2 here in the 8th.
Ryan Buchter is putting on a clinic. Fastball's location down the way, and the breaking ball to Brett Gardner. He got
Pretty weak swat at that one. High pop up over the bat of Teixeira. Near the dugout is Meyers. Oh! And his teammates, Dickerson there to make sure Meyers didn't somersault on his head into the dugout.
He almost had that.
He did. On top of all his good hitting, Meyers has been improving game by game as a first base. Hadn't made an error all year. And he's going to give you the old college try. Even pitcher Booker over there. Hey, this is valuable property here.
Yeah.
Hang on. Teixeira hitting left-handed, singled, hit by a pitch, and popped up. Both the Giants and the Dodgers won tonight, so San Francisco maintains its 6-game lead here in the West. High fly ball, shallow right center. Kemp comes in. He's calling. A 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Buchter. Padres coming up in the bottom of the 8th with a 5-run lead.
I don't want to sound like an idiot and say something completely wrong. Does this vest make me look fat?
Sports and life parallel, and we just know that, hey, you know, you get knocked down, you get back up, and you get back in the race.
If you want to be a baseball player, you go to baseball school, and baseball school is here in the minor leagues.
That's good stuff. A great variety. A sneak preview. Tonight's Best of Padres POV, presented by Saquon Casino. Tonight, right after Padres Live on Fox Sports San Diego. Let's say Ramirez leads off the Padre 8th inning and takes the slider outside. Ramirez has grounded out all 3 times, pulling ground balls to the left side. Anthony Swarzak, the 4th pitcher used by Joe Girardi tonight. That's a strike. And Mark Grant, as we look at the various divisions now, taking form, taking shape. We're approaching the All-Star break. Tomorrow will be the midpoint of the season, the 81st game. And you think about Miami making the first big move to get Rodney to bolster their bullpen, already a decent bullpen. And you start thinking, if you're a fan, not only who's leading the division, but how about the wild cards? And then you look and see Miami. If the season ended tonight, the Dodgers would have 1 wild card, but Miami and the Mets would be tied for the other.
I love the wild card division. It creates another division. there's been speculation. There's been people talking about rather than a one and gone wild card game, make it 2 out of 3.
I'd go for that.
Absolutely. It would extend the season, it seems like. Maybe a couple days.
Popped up. Middle of the diamond. Teixeira calling for the first down. Well, let's check on our Bill Howe play of the game, and it's authored by Ryan Schimpf. The Padre 28-year-old called up from El Paso has his first major league home run. A blast into the right center field seats in the second inning. Good on Ryan Schimpf, our play of the game. He's back up there. He walked the last time. Shift on. And just to finish the wild card business in the American League, right now the leading division teams are Baltimore, Cleveland, Texas, but the wild card teams would be, and they both have 43 wins, Boston and Houston. Ground ball right side into the shift, and there's the second out. And Houston just quietly, after a rugged start of the season, you know, they're just all pulling the oars at the same time in that Astro boat.
You know, I really like Carlos Correa, the shortstop for the Houston Astros. I mean, you talk about a guy who's just really coming to his own, going to be there for a long, long time. Impact player.
Padres go to the bench, and Brett Wallace will be the pinch hitter. Hitting for Ryan Buchter. 2 outs, bases empty. Looking ahead to the Yankee ninth, it'll be the middle of their order. McCann, Castro, and Headley. Well, that's a pitcher spot now. Headley lifted in a double switch. Padre pitching has stymied the Yankees. Only 4 hits for the New Yorkers.
See, that doesn't fly. That does not fly because Ruth never had his name on his jersey.
You're right.
If you're a baseball fan, you just wear the Yankee jersey with number 3 on the back. That's all you need.
That's right, because no one else has worn it.
That's right.
The Bambino. Foul back. The whole numbering system of baseball, it really is fascinating because it took them forever into the late 20s before they decided, okay, let's give them numbers. And then they did it by your place in the batting order because you always hit in the same spot. If you're the leadoff man, you're number 1. If your number hit second, you're second. Frankie Crosetti. If you're third, you're Ruth, number 3. If you're fourth, you're Gary, number 4, and so forth. Down to the catcher who always hit 8th, even though he qualified to hit higher. Bill Dickey wore number 8.
Right. See, Derek Jeter never had his name on his jersey.
And Wallace takes a strike, 3-2. 41,321 on a Friday night in San Diego. And the noise in the background from that thing called the wave. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it for the Padres in the 8th inning. 9th inning coming up, and the Padres have a 7-2 lead.
And Dick, it'd be nice to play 8.5 tonight, right?
Yeah, that would be nice. That usually is a good sign for the home fans. As Andy Green has made the pitching change, Matt Thornton, with the Padres leading by 5 runs, will be called upon to get the final 3 outs. Brian McCann, Starlin Castro, and the pitcher's spot, which was occupied by Chase Headley at the start of the game. Veteran Thornton, recovering from a spring training injury, now is appearing in his 11th game. McCann accounted for one of the Yankee runs with a 412-foot home run to center field in the 6th. Yankee other score came way back in the 2nd on a couple of singles, the RBI by Ellsbury. The Padre pitching has tied up the Yankees, only 4 hits. First pitch is inside, ball 1.
Well, you know, up to this point, Dick, only 1 walk issued by the Padre pitching staff. That was by Colin Ray, Brad Hand, Booker, now Thornton. Doing a fine job tonight, and no hits by the bullpen so far.
Total of 9 strikeouts in the game by Padre pitching. And Hand in his inning punched out 2, and so did Booker. 2-0. And 3-0. A-Rod getting loose. Pitcher spot is 3rd in this 9th inning, and Thornton walks the leadoff man on 4 pitches.
This Caparelli telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Castro walked his first time, rattled one off the pitcher Ray that was turned into a 1-4-6-3 double play in the 3rd, and good play made by Solarte to rob him of a hit his last time up. With A-Rod now in the on-deck circle, and we anticipate him coming into the game. He's 1 hit away from another milestone, and that's ball 5. He has 3,109 hits, 20th all time in baseball history. Number 19 is Dave Winfield, 1 hit away, and Winfield is here tonight. There's the strike, 1-1.
Well, Matt's been around the block, just make 1 good pitch here to get a grounder and possibly get 2 outs. Starlin Castro's grounded into 8 double plays this year.
2-2. There's Big Dave.
He could hit a little bit, huh?
Oh. Yeah, he could hit it out with a swizzle stick. Let's go back to our keys to the game at the very start of the contest. Mark Krent offered you what he thought were the keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego, and here's how it all came out.
I think the Padres did a great job of handling the heat. Uvalde 97 to 99, even touched 100, 4 1/3, 7 hits and 6 earned runs, and no extra outs. 1 error. It was catcher's interference that happened in the first inning.
First batter, yeah. No, he came out very strong. They had your Friday game going.
Thank you, sir.
Slice down the right field side, and that'll fall away from Kemp and into the crowd. Yeah, the Padres closed out the month of June. Did a lot of good hitting, but sometimes the pitching wasn't there. 13-13 record in June. We get the first step here in July of winning one. Another foul. Alex Rodriguez. What a career in so many ways. Going to be 41 later this month.
Another foul.
Wow, we got a battle going on here.
That not hit him. It did hit him. Had to graze him at least. Up right into the chest. So Thornton comes in, walks. The leadoff man now hits Castro, and no manager likes to see this. That fortunately got more uniform than body. Just ruffled the new in New York. And here's A-Rod. 8 home runs for Rodriguez to give him 695 in his career. Ground ball right side, no one there. Schimpf can't get it. A run will score. And the Yankees pull within grand slam range at 7-3. A-Rod knocking in the run and tying Dave Winfield for number 19 on the hit list all time.
I stayed on that ball nicely, taking it the other way. And, you know, the Yankees, they need base runners. You know, it's very easy for Alex Rodriguez to try to take that pitch and try to pull it, yank it out of the ballpark. But they're trying to chip away here. That's just good a hit into the opposite field for Alex Rodriguez.
So manager Andy Green, with Thornton unable to get an out here in the 9th inning, is going to go to Brandon Maurer. With the Yankees 2 on, a run in, and no one out in the 9th inning. The drama builds.
The way Brandon Maurer rebounded from his kind of rough stretch where he went about a week and a half. We tried to find him lower leverage situations and built him back up into positive role situations. And he's the kind of guy that stuff projects there. I think we're inclined to kind of give him the first crack at the 9th inning, probably stopping short of anointing him closer of the club. And we'll see how it plays out.
Well, with Fernando Rodney now traded to the Miami Marlins, manager Andy Green passing the baton to Brandon Maurer for now, he said. And it's kind of interesting, guys, when you think about back in spring training, Brandon Maurer was being considered for a possible spot in the starting rotation. Obviously, that did not pan out. Started in the bullpen for the team here, and now a possible closer role.
Well, Lauer with the pressure on. This is a safe situation. He does not have one this year. Chris Rodney gobbled up all those.
His numbers are high, 5.73 ERA because of the rough start earlier in the year. Green alluded to that. Tying run in the on-deck circle. No one out. Gregorius, a single, a long out to right, and he fouled out the last time. And he lines this one. Fair ball. That'll bring in Castro. Rodriguez will coast into third on a double by Gregorius, and here come the Yankees. It's 7-4. No one out. And the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Aaron Hicks.
Well, it looked like a breaking ball that just caught too much of it. Yep, sure it was. It was a slider. He wanted to backdoor it. That one comes right over the heart of the plate, speeding up the bat of Gregorius, and the Yankees are chipping away. They had a 6-run ninth against the Texas Rangers the other night.
Well, their last 6 wins have all been rallying from behind. That's been their habit here of late. Second and third. No one out in the ninth. Aaron Hicks, 0 for 3 tonight. Takes a strike. Interesting, even though the slider was the pitch that Gregorius hit for a double, came back with a slider to start the sequence. Ground ball sharply to short. That'll get another run in as Ramirez does get Hicks flying up the line for the first out. It's 7-5. And on Wednesday against the Rangers, Gregorius with a walk-off home run. They've scored 6th in the 9th, and they've scored 3 in the 9th tonight to tighten it up to 7-5. Still only one out. And here's Carlos Beltran, their top hitter, .297 with 19 homers. A little bit of a hamstring problem, but primarily a DH on the American League side, not a defensive position for him anymore. And they're going to go over how they want to pitch to Beltran, who in one swing can make life miserable for Padres fans. RBI for Hicks on the ground out. Gregorius is at third.
On the pinch hit roll this year, Beltran is 0 for 4.
Fastball at 93 for a strike. The man whose numbers in a terrific career, knows his pinch hitting totals at 2 of them home runs. But we make a pretty good case for him going to Cooperstown someday. And that ball gets away. Here comes the runner, and it's 7-6. Gregorius scores on the wild pitch. A 4-run ninth.
Change up. Split finger, if you want to call it that. Checks up on Derek Norris.
Look at Gregorius leaning toward home. Boy, he broke immediately. That's good base running by Gregorius. So a 7-2 seemingly comfortable lead is now 7-6. No one on and one out here in the ninth. And after Beltran, it'll be Ellsbury in the top of the lineup. Shift on. Drive to left center. That ball's up the gap. All the way to the wall. Beltran to second, and the Yankees are storming back. Oh, my. Well, it usually leads to problems when you walk and hit the first 2 hitters of an inning, and they've come around to score long ago, and here's Beltran just going with the pitch.
Alex Rodriguez going with the pitch the other way. Carlos Beltran off the bench, going the other way as well.
So the tying run at second with one out. And the lineup flips over to the leadoff man, Jacoby Ellsbury, who has an RBI single and 4 at-bats. And it's worked out in all the rotations of pitchers. The Padres have used up their left-handers, Buchter and Hand, in this predominant left-hand hitting lineup. Gregorius, the left-handed hitter, has the RBI double. Now Beltran, the left-handed hitter, has doubled, and a swing and a miss by Ellsbury.
Well, it's interesting because on the bench, Austin Romine is the only guy Joe Girardi has left. Remember, Beltran, he's got the bad wheel. He's got a tight hammy. Be interesting to see if a ball gets through, if they send him home.
1-1, 95 on the fastball miss. Another left-handed hitter, Gardner, next. One out, 7-6 Padres. Bounce to the right side. Schimpf has it. There's the second out. The tying run moves 90 feet away. Beltran over to third. And here's Brett Gardner. Gardner, a rough night after bouncing out the first. He has struck out the last 3 times.
Can't get much more dramatic than this, huh, Professor?
Yeah, well, the Yankees bring baseball theater, don't they? Down to pitcher against batter with a tying run perched at third. Gardner with a chance to give the Yankees a tie or better. Padre fans rooting for that final out. 8th man to bat here in the 9th inning. Ball 1. Most of this 41,321 on their feet. Yankee or Padre fan.
Now, you know who's really going to have to be on his game is Derek Norris. And from a pitcher standpoint, are you a little reluctant to maybe throw that breaking ball or throw that changeup? Do you have confidence in throwing it? Interesting situation here.
Foul ball off the head of the bat. Cued it back, and it's 1-2. Padres a strike away from a hard-earned win. A ball, 2 strikes on Gardner. Just out of the glove of Derek Norris. In fact, Gardner snapped his head back to look to see if it might have been caught for strike 3.
4-seamer.
Yeah, we want to make sure that ball did elude the catcher. 1-2. Beltran, the tying run at third. 2 outs. 9th inning. Ground ball to short. Ramirez has it. The throw is there, and the Padres win. Final score: San Diego 7, the Yankees 6. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
Nick, thanks very much. When more can I see on Padres Live?